The word of the Lord tells us that the anointed of Jehovah is sacred. That is why we owe respect to the authorities, because God has endowed him with a capacity, has given him functions, and makes him responsible for them. That is, the anointed, he is a person who administers on behalf of God. He represents God's interests in the position he holds, whether he knows it or not. Now, Jesus Christ said that false anointed ones would come, pseudo-messiahs. If we apply, then, the word in the opposite sense, just as God anoints those whom he calls to the kingship and priesthood, the false messiahs are characterized because they have received an anointing that does not come from God. That is, they have not been recognized by God, although they do signs, miracles, and wonders that are capable of deceiving the chosen ones if possible. Matthew 24:24. There is another word that is very important in the Bible. It is Antichrist, that is, anti-anointed, anti-Messiah. This word that the Bible mentions as the anti-anointed are those who reveal themselves against the authority of the true anointed, and they try, of course, to establish themselves in power. Hence, the word Antichrist does not mean only against Christ, as we say in Spanish. In the Greek, the word Antichrist also means someone who occupies or tries to replace the place of Christ, that is, of the true anointed one, be it king, prophet, or acting priest. From there, when the word Antichrist is mentioned in 1 John, it says that they can be defeated. That is, by faith we have an anointing from God greater than those of the world, and through our faith we can defeat the Antichrists. Well, my dears, I hope these definitions help you understand what is written in the Bible in Matthew 24 and in 1 John, where false Christs and Antichrists are mentioned respectively. The Bible refers to the Antichrist and the Antichrists in 1 John. It shows the Antichrist as a spirit that manifests itself in a body, false prophets, and is from apostolic times to the present. Even in the Old Testament there are manifestations of antichrists, because although the Messiah, the incarnation of the Word, had not come, however, the Christ had been revealed in part in the Old Testament, and there were true priests and anointed of God. There were people who tried to usurp those functions, as was the case with Dathan, Abiram, Abimelech, Adonijah, Absalom, the false prophets denounced by Jeremiah and Ezekiel, the Samaritan priestly line, among others. Knowing these things helps us to recognize how the Antichrist and his body, the Antichrists, false prophets, operate. May God continue to bless you and let us open our eyes.